Get out of my seat. You have the best seat in the house at the Misi Fee Awards party.
Greetings, everybody out there in internet land. My name is Troy Bernier, and this is the Miami International Science Fiction Film Festival. And tonight we have a very interesting set of talks. This is going to be our summation, our amalgamation, our whole bucket full of awesome content that has fallen into the category of the Russell Bates nominations and awards. And we have with us the man himself, man of the hour, Canoe Benton. Thank you for
How you doing,
beaming in.
Troy?
Good to see you
Thank
again.
you. Good to see you.
Yes, yes. So this is a very special hour for us, and we're going to be talking about Russell Bates and the Russell Bates nominations, the films that came in this year, which are very
Mhm.
special to us. These are, and correct me if I'm wrong, okay? Correct me if I'm wrong, but these are um, films that were produced, directed, or the cast are of indigenous origin. All right.
Correct.
Awesome.
Yes. Now, indigenous doesn't always mean, just to clarify to people as well, indigenous content is not just North American, Native American, indigenous for this category, even though Russell Bates himself was Kiowa and North American Indian. We do acknowledge the indigeneity all across the world. As long as it maintains the spirit of true indigenous nature and thought process in the sci-fi realm, that is what we are looking for.
Yes, yes, yes. And do we have, and we do have those films. We do have that
Yes.
content that came to us this year. And there are three
Sorry,
films that
getting
we
comfortable.
are, yes, and there are three films that we will be acknowledging, that we are recognizing.
Hmm.
One of them is called Closed System. That came to us from Canada. The other one starts with an N. Help me with the pronunciation there.
Nahahiitku.
Nahahiku.
Yes.
That comes to us also from Canada.
Hmm.
And the third one um, came to us all the way from Australia, Bunker the Last Fleet. And of
Yes.
course, I have to mention this one special thing. Folks may or may not know, but this is our golden hour. The golden hour, meaning 10 o'clock Eastern Time, is also 12 noon in Australia. So this is the one particular window of time during the day, or night for that matter, let's say, where two sides of the world can be having conversations at the
Awake
same
at the
time.
same time.
We're awake at the same time. We know you're awake. You know I'm awake. I know you're awake. And all we got to do is
Hmm.
just take a look at your social media feed, see what you're up to. We might do that today. Anyway, so this awesome collection of films that came to us, and we're gonna chat with you a little bit about them today, and show you some trailers and some pictures and things like that. So, how do you want to start with this, Canoe? What do we want to do first?
I don't know. Well, we already named the uh, the winners um, of the Russell Bates Award, which are the three films. Like you said again, Bunker the Last Fleet, Nahahiitku, and Closed System.
Yes.
So I really like that the second title does have an indigenous, original language title. Um, it's good to see our languages and using it in in our filmmaking titles.
Yes.
And a lot of people probably don't know how to say it, but again, it's an educational experience where we force ourselves to be able to say, not to say what is the English translation of this, but how do you say this word? And that way we can ingrain ourselves with being able to educate ourselves about other languages.
That's right.
Um, so I do I would like to read the segment off the website now for people who may not know who Russell Bates is. May I do that now?
Oh, absolutely.
So we are talking about the Russell Bates Award, and here's the excerpt from the MICI website. Um, So it says the Miami International Science Fiction Film Festival is proud to recognize productions for the Russell Bates Indigenous Peoples Screenwriters Award. We also do films, and I do want to acknowledge later today in this um, here today, two actresses. This award will be given annually to a screenwriter, director, cast member of a submitted nominated screenplay film who is a member of the worldwide community of Indigenous people, like we said. By furthering the memory and the work of Kiowa writer Russell Bates. Again, Russell Bates was a member of the Kiowa Nation of the North American Indians. We will continue to recognize Indigenous contributions of fantastic themed content. So Russell Bates was the first Native American writer to win an Emmy Award for the 1974 episode of Star Trek The Animated Adventures, How Sharper Than a Serpent's Tooth.
That's right.
So he is an amazing, accomplished Indigenous storyteller.
And tell folks that was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Way before
So
most of us.
So that word pioneer, paving the way for the rest of us, little known people who are part of our history that we probably don't even know who are there, that made it possible for all of us to be able to create our content in the future. So 1970s, here we are in 2023, and handing out the award in his name, Pioneer, to recognize these people.
Wow.
Yeah.
There was also a piece during the festival. It was during the award ceremony. You read a piece from somewhere.
That was the same thing.
That was the same thing. Okay.
Yeah. I read it off the website.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And
It's a good description.
let's share. I'm going to share a little something here with folks. Share the screen here so people can see exactly what we're talking about. Right. Right here. This is it. Right. And that's Russ.
That's Russ.
Adam says uncle, oh, that's uncle, and everybody calls him uncle,
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's a very Indigenous thing to do, well, what we say is in Western societies, they don't understand, like, all of we don't have first, second, third cousins. Everybody's just your cousin, and our aunts and uncles don't even have to be blood related, as long as it's a term of endearment for somebody that is special to you and you're giving them respect, So even though he might have been his real uncle, I can call somebody uncle just because it's a term of respect, or auntie, grandma, all of your grandma or grandpa's siblings, they're also your grandma and grandpas,
Yeah. Yeah. And I remember when this first was, I remember when I first met Russ, and it was because of Leslie Owen. Leslie was, a massive contributor to the festival. She was here since the second season. She played such a huge role, and through the festival for many years. She's responsible for our screenplay competition. She's responsible for us putting together Russ's award. She's responsible for bringing him to the festival. And real nice person, very good person, And she mentioned, hey, this guy named Russell Bates, he was this writer in Star Trek, and which is all I needed to hear, I said, okay, great, yeah, let's fly him out, of course. And he came to the festival, and he had a blast, man. He had a very, very good time at the festival. And I think I can bring up another picture of him. And it was just such an interesting experience for him, because he told me, he said, I've never been invited to festivals before. I've never done it. No one's ever invited me to these kinds of things. And that to me was so bizarre by itself. Just to hear that was a shock. Just to hear that was a shock to me. So here he is. Oh, wait. Okay, that's why. You can see it now. Okay, so here he is. Here he is. And this time, this is when he came out to us. He's got his OU hat on, and and he's talking to us. This was during one of the lectures, and he's talking about his personal experiences, but also sharing what's valuable, what's important. Being a screenwriter. In that area when it was so difficult and challenging to be part of, professional, be part of the profession. And he spoke highly of the people that were around, that were there to help him. A lot of the original Star Trek writers. He mentioned David Gerald. He mentioned Dorothy Fontana. Really nice. And actually, that year is the year that we wanted to get Dorothy Fontana also. And I think if it wasn't this year, maybe it was the year after. This was year 3, I think, year 3 or year 4. And Dorothy Fontana, who is the female writer of Star Trek, she couldn't come, but she sent the video, and she said, "Well, Troy, what do you want me to say on the video?" I said, "Well, I want you to talk to the women. Talk to the women, because they'll be in the room." And I still have that video, and one day we're going to play it again. It's very, very powerful. Her words. She shortly passed away after that. Russ shortly passed away after he came. He participated one other year. He was a judge, a screenplay judge, and he sent me stacks of his notes. Just amazing contributor, put so much into it. And we share the notes with the screenwriters that pay for this, and we always get amazing feedback from people that send in their screenplays, because most contests don't give you much feedback. It's either you're in or you're out. Us, we give you we critique the hell out of your screenplay, which Leslie developed the mechanism, the framework for this. And currently Brooklyn Murphy is the person that pretty much ranks with overseeing much of the judging, and with the team that we have. Andrew Cooper, who's is a new resident, amazing level of work. Candace Augustin, and we have a new person, which I haven't mentioned her name. I gotta bring it up there, but she's very new, very, very, very new. So new, she needs to come next year, hopefully, or participate in some capacity. But Russell was just an amazing person that spent his youth in Miami. He spent some time here because he was in the military. So when he came to Miami, it was his first time back here in decades. So it was like a homecoming for him. He was touched. He was touched by this, and I will always remember Russ. His contributions were such a big deal, and you could learn a little bit about him on the website. We've got a real nice video that was produced by Kyle Sullivan and this entity called Trexpertise. And they were very, very nice to produce a video about him, and it is, I think it's this one here. It's this one here, and I'm not gonna play it because it's 15 minutes long, but it's an interview with Russell Bates, and there's also a longer one too, as Kyle mentioned. He said, Troy, there's a longer one, but Kyle Sullivan, amazing narrator, who the festival supported him because of his what he does, what Trexpertise does. It's an amazing tool that highlights all the great points about Star Trek, you know, and the value that it brings to the profession. But it's a really good interview. I highly recommend it. And let's do one thing here. I don't think we can. He talks a little bit about this. Give me 1 second. You want to share a little piece about it? We'll share a little piece. All right. You want to do that? Sound okay to you?
Sounds okay, man. So I just wanted to I noticed about him too that again it's very native to have a ribbon shirt with the Star Trek badge on there, and then also his beaded cap. Those are very recognizable as very good uncle traits. You know, so that kind of inspires me. The next time I come, I should wear my ribbon shirt and put on a nice Star Trek emblem.
Wow.
To pay homage to him.
And folks out here in internet land, this is live. Remember, this is live. So folks in internet land, if you have any comments, please share those with us. Hold on. Let's see.
At an early age, to be a I was doomed at an early age to be a science fiction writer. But I was Native American. Indians didn't write. They didn't do science fiction. I was hoping I could be different.
Because of his love of sci-fi, Mr. Bates became aware of Star Trek quite early during the show's debut.
Wow, that's all I got. You know, just wow. So let's listen to one last piece here.
And my friends who were missile
Mr. Bates found out just what kind of show Star Trek was going to be.
in my own barracks room, we watched it on television in black and white because we couldn't afford color. And I and my friends who were missile technicians watched that episode, and we went, that was a real story. This is going to work.
Later, during his long-term recovery from a serious on-the-job accident, an explosion, Mr. Bates found he had a lot of free time, and so he wrote as much as he could.
And that's pretty much the story. So I don't want to really take away the fire from Kyle, but people, might want to listen to it. We'll do one last clip.
Wagon and a couple of other films.
Say, what was that all about back there?
We were playing poker.
So?
I was cheating.
But what's a Kiowa? I said, I'm a Kiowa. Oh, we know you're a Kiowa, but our audience might not know what is a Kiowa. On our reservation and in the life before the reservation, our allies were the Comanche. Oh, we've heard of Comanches. Dawson Walking Bear, therefore, is a Comanche.
To understand,
What a trip. Okay. That's him. He's always has something trippy to say and spins it in a way that just makes you laugh. Amazing guy. So Russ, we thank you very much again for being the massive innovator, contributor mind that you have, brought to us. And we recognize you every year with hopefully the inspiration that you continue to bring. And we wanted to highlight that with the indigenous community. And we have these beautiful awards that we that we craft, and put it right there. We have these beautiful awards that we craft. So this is the Russell Bates Award. It's our standard. It comes in different colors. I think this one, to be honest, the Russell Bates Award. Well, and this, notice how it's transparent. It's a special material.
Oh wow.
It's a special material because it's transparent. This is a result of the time that we came back from that Martian, no, that alien base that was on Mars, and we brought some of that material back with us. So we use that to make these special trophies. I'm just kidding. Anyway, the reason why you can't see this because it's green, and there's a green screen behind me. It's chroma green. So basically, it looks like this. This looks like this.
And that's the
yeah.
That's the blue screen color too.
This is the blue one, but we don't have a blue screen, so you can see it. So that's the funny part about that. So, but yeah. So of course, you know, for all of the winners out there, let's talk about those winning films. Can we do that?
Yeah. Now is the time to be able to acknowledge the two actress winners?
Absolutely. Do you want to talk about the films first, though?
Yeah, we can.
And wrap in and recognize the people. Excuse me. Recognize the people in there. Which one do you want to start off with?
Well, we had a nice conversation with Yuma.
Yeah, we did.
With Closed System.
We did, and folks can definitely take part in that one. That's going to be out this weekend. They don't have they only have one photo. They only have one photo, which is their title block. But this is a pretty interesting film. This is the one that was about it has an environmental theme taking place up in we would call it northern Canada, but it's really southern Canada, I think, right? Southern Canada.
Yeah.
But it's this mysterious life form that's taking the world by storm, and she's like an environmental scientist who has figured out that it's actually not hurting us; it's actually going to help us. Oh, I don't want to tell everybody the story, but it's a really good one, and it's doing its festival run right now. This is old. These are old because it's been in more festivals than this. So, did you want to say anything else about it?
Yes, it's we did mention it over our other interview, and it's called the nylon fly, and there's very specific reasons in the environment why it's called that. Sort of like this cocoon, and I guess he did mention that it eats microplastics. So that's as much as I'll give away about that, you know. So
right.
So yeah, so it was very interesting view, as you know, very stereotypically we do as Indigenous people have a very intimate tie to the earth, and you know, it's quite naturally that this woman be a nature conservationist and talking about the environment and invasive species and how it is that we would view that as Native people and how that story would play out. So it was done very well.
Yeah. So this one won a Russell Bates Award. Was that, and that was it for the tally for Closed System, wasn't it?
Yes.
Okay, and the next one is, let's talk about, I can pronounce it. I can do it. Yeah. This is Nahaha Hiku. Did I do it right?
Very close, yes. Very impressive.
And this film was made by. This was directed by Asia Youngman.
And written, yes.
Written, directed by Asia. Let's put this here. Window. I'm a little slow tonight. I apologize. Okay, there we go. Asia Youngman. And we're once again coming out of Canada. This is actually Vancouver, British Columbia. Coming out of British Columbia, and they have quite a nice cast, dynamic cast. And the producer is Mike Johnston, and she was in a movie called This Ink Runs Deep. Hatha.
Okay.
She was director and writer of a previous film, and this film opened at the Toronto International Film Festival. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. So these are some of the cast members. That is Amanda, I think. Is that right, Amanda? This is the star. Aiden. That's Aiden Howard. Jake. That's our star. Am I right?
Yes.
That's Zariah. Is that right, Zariah?
That it is that's the character.
Zariah. These are just some pictures from.
Kiawentio.
Yes.
And I apologize publicly if I don't say that correctly.
Kiawentio. Yep, that's right. That's how I would say it. And this is a scene from. This is actually a scene from the film. Right here, they all were getting in the boat. We're not going to tell it all the way now, folks, but they were getting in the boat, and the part that we can talk about is that basically after she moved to a new town, she must navigate peer pressure when her next door neighbor convinces her to explore a nearby island in search of a legendary lake monster. However, she quickly learns that her new friends might be harboring some secrets and ulterior motives of their own. Ooh.
So, so we won't say the English name and translation.
Mhm.
So the title of this film can also be known as Ogopogo,
Mhm.
but that is that is a native word. But in this film, it specifically said that's not the correct way to say it, and it is the way to say it in the title of the film. So I enjoyed this film because it was very naturally acted. Um, so much so that Isla Grant, the child in this film, I liked her performance so much that I named her a winner of the Russell Bates Award as a child actress. Um, I liked that this film was set and it was a period piece. And so it wasn't just done for today. It was a modern telling. In my opinion, it was a modern telling of an old story, but set as a period piece. So that in itself, in my opinion, is very complicated to do, a lot of effort. And then also the very naturalistic acting of the cast made me feel that it brings the imagery of the Indian out of something that's very stereotypical. There's nuances to the writing that is very genuine, as a native person would speak. Um, so you can just tell that somebody native wrote this, because there's nothing that really felt um forced. It was very natural, and it was very relatable as an American Indian, and it really stood out as having all of these combinations of things to create a very beautiful story, and that's why this is also a winner. We lost your audio. It says you're muted. There you go. Uh-oh.
Oh, apologies. I must hit a button. You can hear me now, though, right?
Yep.
No, I said that that's the cast member. That's Isla Grant. Is that her?
No, I think that's the main character.
So this is Kai Wento.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So which one is Isla Grant?
You will have to look her up. See if you can pull up it is on IMDb.
Yeah, that is her. That's her. She's the lead cast member.
No. Isla Grant plays Violet. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Awesome. Well, we forgot to do one thing, and we were going to show the trailer for the film. So let's do that. We should show the trailer for Closed System first. Sounds good?
Sounds great.
Why, I could even see to count all the fingers of my hands hold out to it, see the stains, the clutch of the good earth on them.
Naturalist DL, what's your pledge for today?
I really enjoyed that. I really like their film. Okay, let's go with the next one.
The lake is safe for swimming, right?
My mom says not to go near the lake.
Why not?
She's probably all freaked out about the Ogopogo.
What is the Ogopogo?
It's a lake monster. Supposedly it lives over there, at a Rattlesnake Island. I bet you'd be too scared to go over there anyways.
No, I wouldn't.
Let's go. Tonight.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one. Very good, very good. So that's her here, and that's who we're going to also award with a actor prize. That's fantastic. So, what's our third film?
Our third film, again, comes to us from Australia, and the title is Bunker the Last Fleet. And that's directed by Stephen Potter and Rowan Pullen. Writers are the previous mentioned, again, Stephen Potter, Rowan Pullen, and then also written by Natasha Wanganeen. So it's three writers.
Wow.
And you can tell because it's a very good story.
Yes, it is. This one had me going because initially when I first saw it, I'm like, wow, this is some pretty hardcore science fiction.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course I'm like, it's shot in Australia, so they're going to take advantage of their exotic landscape, and Australia has a very diverse population of people, um, and they bring all of those characters to the film, so you could see there's just a lot going on over there. The
Yeah.
set design, the costumes. Look at these costumes, man! Holy
Yep.
smokes! And that blaster she has, that's they put a lot into this. Wow.
So you can see the stark contrast
Mm-hmm.
in these two images,
Mm-hmm.
and how they blend these together in a story is what's kind of remarkable to me.
Yes.
I mean, very different. Like you said, and they take all of these things that are, all these bits and weave them together into something that's very, as this image shows, something very hardcore.
Yeah, I wish they were here because I would love to ask them the locations of these scenes. This is not, near Sydney or Melbourne. Definitely not near Melbourne. Melbourne's a tropical environment, like Florida.
Mm-hmm.
This is probably in the interior, so
Mm-hmm.
that's wow. I'm sure that this is probably a filter, but wow, some good post production.
And this is Natasha Wanganeen,
Yes, the
and
star.
she is my winner for the best actress under the Russell Bates Award.
Fantastic.
So the other child that was best supporting actress, I should say,
Mm-hmm.
and I correct myself, and she's best actress. So she did a fantastic job.
Yes.
I mean, you can just see in one photo how captivating the story would be.
Wow. Holy smokes. Look at that.
Yeah, great design.
Lots of props. Look at the props. Look at this. And last but not least, I know we also have this is Roland, right? This is Roland. He was the director.
Mm-hmm.
Rowan, I'm sorry, Rowan.
Roll on.
Really good film, man.
Yeah.
Very impressed.
So
We gotta go ahead.
each of these films are completely different in their approach, and and I think that it's very good that we recognize
Mm-hmm.
these films because they are so different and how they approach indigeneity in science fiction.
Yes.
One is very poetic, one is very heartfelt, and the other one is very intense.
Yes. Yes. Do we want to show the trailer for this one?
Oh yeah.
And let me know if you could hear the audio. Give me a thumbs up if you could hear the audio.
The day they arrived was a sight unseen and undreamed of. The people, the land, the system, gone. I am the last.
Puro colone.
I am.
People might be out there. Or they're not.
It's been 3 moons since we found those tracks, Rio.
If we lost out there, we come back to this place.
My grandfather used to tell us stories about how all the other nations have been here on this land, on this motherland. Songs, ceremonies, food, weapons. It's our dreaming.
Things just stay away from the tracks. We stay away from the roads. And we stay alive.
You're the keeper, Jara. You gotta take care of it. If you don't, they will. Moranana.
Get back to the bunker, now!
Run! Run! They're gonna take you now!
Uncle! Can you hear me? If anyone can hear my voice, don't give up. This is not the end. It's just the beginning.
It's hard to believe that's a short film. It's done very well.
Mm.
It's done very well. Cool stuff, man. All right. So, any last things we want to add?
That was a good way to end.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Good trailer. I liked that because it does have these very, it's a modern science fiction film. There's elements that you would think would be very stereotypical, but you can tell that it's not because they do have real actors, and I'm sure that in the settings they would have great input on how to be able to portray accurately, obviously.
Right.
And on top of that, it has this very nostalgic sci-fi kind of 80s
retro feel to it.
Yeah, it does. Retro. Yeah. So that's kind of why it was not only a story, but obviously it's very beautiful and a lot of effort put in there. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And they did their homework with the indigenous aspect of it, and they didn't fail and take things to a place of very stereotypical way of doing things, and it felt genuine. And as a native person, even though I'm not Aboriginal Australian, you can still tell that okay, this is real. You know what I mean? There's something in it that in the acting and the portrayal that it just it rings as true. And then adding that science, that fantasticness on top of that is what really pulled me in.
Yeah. Awesome. Oh, that's good. Good words. Strong words. So, well, that's it for now, folks. Thank you so much for checking us out this late hour on a Friday. It'll be available for everybody to continue to watch going forward. And any comments that you add, we will do our best to respond to them. Signing out.
Another winter day, another gray reminder that what used to be has gone away. It's really hard to say how long we have to live with our insanity. We have to pay for all we use. We never think before we light the fuse. Look up, look up, look up, the sky is falling. Look up, there's something that you have to do.
A little bit. Let them guys in.
I'm not paying for a messaging app.
Yes, you are.
We have so much data!
Don't pay with your data. 3MA, seriously secure messaging.